Okay. Okay. So, here we got level 47 because the level cap has just gone up, which is, comes along with a whole bunch of quests, and a whole bunch of quests is pretty good. So we'll start up the first veteran there, and this is a voiceover of what's it called? Like the actual video recording when I did this. Oh wait, okay. Hold on a second. So they're talking about the Bigfoots. Oh, no reason. I was just wondering. Well, they're omnivores, like most primates. Again, why do you ask? Because we need to deal with the several dozen Bigfoots who have invaded our outpost. What are you talking about? Hey, there are Bigfoots all over the place. Why didn't someone tell me about this? You'd think you'd at least notice the smell. And then, pardon me, folks. Is there Lieutenant Morgan around? I'd sure like to speak to him. My word, you're the spitting image of Judge Pierce. He was my grandpa. That's why I'm here, actually. He told me if I needed anything that I could ask Lieutenant Morgan. Your grandfather was always kinder to me than I deserved. What can I do for you? Well, the town where I work, we're having some problems. Grab your gear, folks. If this guy's gift for understatement is anything like his grandfather's, then we've got no time to lose. Don't want to have another worm moth. Yeah. Morgan, the silverwolves are acting like spoiled children who walk around in their parents' clothes. That's surprisingly accurate, but no. They're actually creepy. They're creepy, actually. What? God. Past me is not doing accurate enough time to read this stuff. Can't believe it. Zoe, Morgan and I have been thinking. It's not safe for you here. Recent events. It's not fair to... You kidding me? Floyd first. Y'all are sweet. Y'all are sweet, but I got no right to send me away. I want to be here. Second, you want us to think it'd be safe sending me to one of those little towns? Frankly, I don't think any town is safe. Look, both of y'all know building and designing is my passion. Check out my new design and tell me what you think. Okay, so Zoe is saying to build the heavier tank. I've been working on the laser gun, or what's left of it at least, and I think I've made a breakthrough. So he's made a breakthrough. I don't know, between you and Zoe, I'm starting to think of science as something that terrorizes and or puts me in danger. Only if we're doing something interesting. Anyway, I'm this close to tracking the origins of the laser, but I need a few more things so Zoe can... Whatever you need, it's not going to be easy to get. Oh, heavens no. Of course not. This modulator isn't explosive, I think. Alright, so I'm gonna... What past me here is grabbing all of the jobs from things, which will be a bit of a thing. I do kind of wish that it had been voiced over during the actual recording, because this is a lot of voicing over. Like a lot. I do believe at least every video after this, unless gonna get screwed over by past me again, you know. It's something that happens sometimes. So unless that happens again, I'm gonna be doing just fine from here on out. Let's see, what am I doing here? It looks like I am moving all the buildings back to the spots where I had them previously or something like that. I don't really know if that's exactly what Past Me is doing. Oh, and then randomly going in to fight zombies too. Oh, right. Past Me is out here showing off the wimps now that they are fully functional as a unit. Which, I mean, it does do quite a bit of damage, the wimp does. As you can see right here, it's gonna take out that column all the way back. And there'll be nothing left to not many units can survive about 300 damage going down the line. Yeah, not many units can survive that. So this is the culmination of the wimp itself. There. And now, Past Me is going to build something, apparently. I'm not sure what Past Me is building. Mercenary villas? Okay. Building that to see if... Oh, right. That makes sense. Because there was a whole bunch of talk on if the good silverwolf units would be... what's it called? If the good silverwolf units would be buildable from the silverwolf thingy. I've got to admit, I was expecting something a little more bucolic. I know she ain't much to look at, but Skarborough is a pretty major exporter of steel and iron for the Empire. Stocking these mines is a big part of what made Ma as rich as she is. Wait, Ma Pierce is rich? Yeah. Okay, so trouble. So, what are we looking at? Silverwolves? Well, the Silverwolves want Scarborough's steel, so they're trying to rile up folks and run me out. Right now they're blocking access to the mines, but they're doing it with the locals they paid off. Got it. So we'll use the kid gloves on this one. By kid gloves, he means fire hose. And so now it's time to do, or for Past Me to be doing, a actually arguably pretty easy sort of mission here. Although maybe not. Yeah, it looks like Past Me is retreating because AoE is bad for handling the civilian units. I mean, who would have guessed that, right? AoE being bad for when you don't want to accidentally kill something. But that's the way it is, of course, because, you know. Yeah. Looks like the plan here is to go for apparently RNG on if that hits the actual target or not. Dang, Pathways are a risky person to using the RNG bomb in a situation when there's, you know, units that get one shot by it. Not sure what I was doing back here, back at this point in time. It's just Yeah, I guess gambling or something? I don't know. Okay. At least using the gun turret on this time means that won't have to worry about the gambling effect. So the gambling effect is still... I don't know. Either way, got another silverwolves taken out. That wasn't really silverwolves, whatever. And then got the... Look at that. This one might actually be susceptible to AoE. That's emphasis on might because it's liable to not be. I guess we'll see what past me is doing here. Triple wimp with hopefully some unit to take out the guy in the very back, but you know, that might not be happening. Okay. I mean, I see the point of using the wimp there, but I don't see the point of having 3 of them when they're never going to use more than a single one of the attacks. Stuff does did a decent chunk of damage to the wimps. Okay, I can't thank you folks enough. My grip on things out here is pretty loose as it is. Knowing about and past me skipped over it. Okay, whatever. Damn, I knew it was too easy. Now I've got Silverwolf setting up shop on the outskirts of town. Don't worry about it, kid. If you think we're good with unruly mobs, wait till you see how we handle actual threats. I think that was what he was saying. So we got Silverwolves all over the place. Yeah, this is basically the mega episode of taking out rioters and Silverwolves in Skarborough. That's basically all I'm going to be doing in this one, I think. If I recall correctly. So armored stuff is actually kind of bad to use the wimp on. Because armor really lowers the damage on the damage type the wimp uses. I mean, it doesn't lower it a huge amount, but, you know, lowers it enough that it won't be doing really big damage. I mean, like, it cuts the damage in, like, just about half, I think. Well, I don't know about half, but... yeah, whatever. Whatever. So that guy in the very back, as I was talking about earlier, the guy with the artillery cannon. So there was a bunch of talk and hopes by a bunch of people that that guy would be buildable from the Silverwolf depot. And since it was like one of the best player buildable artillery units, like, you know, I think it was better, supposed to be better than the chuckers even. But since that was a thing, there Madrona did mention that they weren't going to do, or the unit didn't release with the level cap increase, which is, you know, kind of understandable considering it was like, you know, because it would be really, really powerful. But at the same time, we've got, like, you know, other really powerful units that still just the same as before. And I really don't know, because back in the old game I never got one of the I never tested out one of the wolf artilleries. So I never actually tested or experienced just how powerful the unit was. And because of that, I don't know exactly what I'm talking about here. Nonetheless, got the there's also like the wolf force that was supposed to be a unit too. Although it's too bad that they never added some of the other silverwolf units to the truck. I mean, to the silverwolf trading facility. Like, they never added these guys in the back with the leaf blower looking cannon thingies. And they never added the bus. I don't think they added the blue and gray machine gun truck either. And by blue and gray machine gun truck, I mean the one that, like, hits a 5x2 area in front of it. Yeah, it's a 5x2 area in front of it that it hits. So, supposedly, the wolf artillery that was trainable was better than these leaf blower guys. I don't know if it actually was, but apparently that was the case. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if anyone ever said it was better than the leaf blower guys or not, but I feel like it would have had to have been, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, Lieutenant, I can't thank you enough. I'll do my best to not bother you in the future. Don't you dare. This is one industry town, and you just lost your only customer. You folks are looking at bumpy times, and I don't want to know about it before things go south. Well, Grandpa sure was right about you. I wish that was true. I'm working on it. Can't let this kid down. Okay. And now, Sheriff Pierce, how are things in Skarborough? Well, can't complain. Could be better though. Oh God, what's the major catastrophe that's come up? Well, it's nothing really. We're just a little short on food, and the silverwolves are squeezing us. And there being no empire to buy iron anymore, the people are hungry and well. Food riots, always a fun time. Get the men, Ramsey. We're gonna crush this uprising. Taos, this is a pleasant surprise. I cannot call it pleasant. I am burdened with sour news. It concerns the followers of Gontus. Gontus people? I figured they'd all disband or join up with you after we got rid of him. Many did, but some of those under Gontus are particularly violent. Without a warlord to focus their rage, they have become roving menaces. My scouts say that they are advancing on your town of Skarborough as we speak. Sheesh, those people have already been through enough already. Ramsey, gather the troops. Taos, we'd appreciate a hand with this if you can lend it. Okay, so Skarborough was under attack again by what's it called? Like literally 10 more encounters. Yeah, exactly. And there it is, Skarborough in. Okay, so this is the one rider battle that was left over from before, I think. So the riots are pretty rough as a, like the full-on having to capture everyone. It kind of sucks. At least I'm not the biggest fan of it. And then the fact that the capture mechanics never play a role in anything ever again. That's also a thing. Okay, so that guy is near dead. Mr. Shotgun is probably one of the biggest threats here. I can say that, but it doesn't actually feel like it's accurate sometimes. Either way, I really do not like the riots at all. I mean, I get them from a narrative standpoint, and I understand from the other standpoint, I guess. Oh yay. Past Me is really good at whatever the heck Past Me just did there. Which is managing to kill a unit that should not have been killed. Okay, look at that. Might be one of the few uses of the flying bat dude. I think it actually was one of the few uses because it's got like single target abilities, I think, or whatever. Yeah. Just flies up, flies down, does some damage. I don't know why Past Me went for the fireworks instead of the chucker, because chuckers are always the bigger threat. Literally, always. You know, they'll randomly hit you for a crit of 200 damage, and you'll be like, wow, that was nice. I really appreciate that game. And then, won't be able to do much about it. Whereas the fireworks, they just do a little bit of AoE damage. Or Past Me is doing this crazy thing where, okay then. Yeah, sometimes I question my own judgment. As that judgment sometimes does not seem to be very sound. Fireworks. I do not like the fireworks that they just don't spam out, I guess. That looks like it's about to be a dead peacekeeper. Look at that. And he is dead. Amazing. Yeah. Losing riot units is never nice either. They tend to be kind of expensive to heal, or to make new ones of. Alright, so that guy will do a little bit of damage to that guy. And it should bring the guy within capture range. Yeah. So, put an end to the riot, sir. Fascist pigs. This one seems to be the leader. Anyone could see that, Perkins. Anyone. Okay. Alright, well, actually, sir, he's not covered in like the other people of Skarborough. I bet he's from a different frontier town. Shh, Perkins, I'm thinking. We have ways of making people talk. Whoa now, that won't be necessary. That sharp fellow there is right. I'm from Sundale. Okay. Pigs, man, always turn to violence. I don't think we really have enough hard evidence to keep Henderson here. He has a bat, and there are clearly smashed windows. He could be more useful to us elsewhere anyway. I'm not going to accept the help of a hoodlum. You don't have to. Zoe can build us a tracking device. We already know he's from Sundale. I prefer the good old-fashioned intelligence gathering with pliers. You don't want to know where this thing goes. Alright, so that's the tracking device. And there's a whole bunch more stuff here. Like, what is past me going for next? Hunger pains, maybe? Or sit here and stare at the fucking thing for 5 minutes? I really don't know. Just watching and waiting. Well, you know, maybe this would be a good spot to do a cut to for this video, or not, well, whatever. Straight into the other stuff. 7 units this time, interesting. Wonder how this is set up. Well, I guess we'll see, right? Because, you know, a wall, huh? Did past me? Was there a check to see if I only had to kill the vehicles here? I feel like there wasn't. I feel like there wasn't for some reason. Maybe past me did look at it already, but what was that? What was that? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the issue. You have to check the actual encounter stuff before you like start fighting. Yeah. So this is just some from the looks of it, combat between wimps, walls, and the rocket mammoth dudes. The rocket mammoths are an interesting unit. I don't know if we like ever can train them normally, but they seem like they're like completely RNG, just like another well-known RNG unit, that being the powerboat from the naval battles. And RNG attacks are either great or terrible in this game. And more often than not, they're terrible, because that's just the way stuff rolls. Which is, you know, yeah, I don't fucking know. Not much can survive a tank kill round or attack. And if stuff does, then it can't survive multiple. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Guess past me testing out Tough Raider Outcast. 612, huh? And crits? They do a big hit. So always a nice thing to see. Well, no, not actually always a nice thing to see. Because there is the time when the enemy gets a big hit on their crit or whatever. Usually sometime during naval combat. And usually on an attack that one-shots a battleship. That's the one time that I do not like seeing, you know, a big crit attack or whatever. Because that is just the worst. The worst. But we know I do a crit. I always like it. I'll always take it, you know? Yeah. Tough Raider Skirmisher. Don't know if he's really that great. I mean... Yeah, I have to say, not as great as was led to or something. But that is fine. Well, only 2 more raiders to go here. Only 2 more. Struggling to figure out what it is that my plan is for. I don't know about that. So basically, right? It's gonna be a couple of videos here, and then I'll basically be at the next level cap, right? And so once I'm at the level cap again, you know, what should I really like do? Like, I mean, I know I've made like a bunch more videos already, and you know, modern day grinding veterans or whatever, but at the same time, there comes a point when there's like not a whole lot to do except to just grind SP and farm the boss drops, right? I mean, there's grinding gold too, but you know. Grinding gold is kind of secondary in my book. Like, having the amount of gold for the, what's it called? The guild, or whatever, is a good thing, right? But actually going out and grinding it, I mean, I know that more gold is better. More is better than less. At the same time, you know, it's just like... Oh, okay. I better read the quest. Gaunt's remnants scatter to the winds. Yeah, well, we sure showed them. Good work, everyone. Scatter those jerks. They'll fly away, but they will land elsewhere. Then it will begin again. So, even when we win, we lose. Fantastic. It's kind of like real life, right? Lieutenant, our scouts have been closely monitoring radar movements. Yep. Good job, Perkins. Or it's Perkins and Scouts. They have? Who ordered that? Actually, sir, I did. I figured we could try to get ahead of them if they tried for another town. That was a clever insight, backed up by bold action. Remind me to punish you later for bypassing the chain of command. Yes, sir. Anyway, they seem to be concentrating on the area around Recoil Ridge. Then we'll have to move fast, since Sheriff called a warning. Hopefully he'll be able to hold until we get there. Okay. And then there's even more combat to be doing. So I think that's that thing. So what Past Me is doing now is rearranging all of these buildings back to a sort of rearranging. And this should be the arrangement that stick with for basically until it's rearranged again. I mean, I guess that's how it works, right? Things get rearranged to the way that they'll be until they get rearranged again, but you know, kind of a moot point to go through saying that, right? Sandworms. Looks like Past Me is having a little bit of an issue with the sandworms, but whatever. And as you can see, there's the blue and orange flowers there. That's for this system in the guild that I'm in, right? And the system is blue flowers means people can come and kill your naval encounters, and orange flowers means people can come and kill your land encounters. And there's also this other system that is in place for a little bit, which is purple flowers mean people can kill your zombie encounters. But I wasn't super... yeah. I never put down purple flowers. Because I didn't want like I didn't want stuff by zombies taken or whatever. I wanted to get, wanted to get the gambling for myself or whatever. Because, you know, even if I get really bad luck, I'll still get some interesting units, presumably. Bigfoots are kind of just going to be steamrolled here, I would say. Oh, right. I was talking about the flower system, right? So, there's blue flowers that mean naval is free to take. Orange flowers that mean land is free to take. And then there is white flowers. If there's white flowers, like, you know, white flowers and blue flowers pattern equals, so white flowers mean don't take encounters, right? So it's basically like, you know, white and blue equals, people can take naval but not land. White and orange means people can take land but not naval. And full white means no one should be taking any encounters as long as they're in the guild and are aware of this system type thing. And then of course I think the guild has like some kind of thing where it's like boss encounters. You gotta ask the person who has the boss encounter before you can actually take it. So for, you know, like something like random crazy blades, that would be one of those things where you ask someone and then you take it, rather than you take it and then they're like, oh, blah blah blah, this person took my thing, you should talk to them in the guild or whatever. I don't really know. I'm probably explaining it really badly. I'm very good at explaining things badly. It's one of my most prominent skills, is explaining things in a way that really doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, maybe it does make sense. But at the same time, it probably doesn't make as much sense as it could if I was explaining things properly or something like that. Amazing, I've never seen Bigfoots eat so much. Oh, I do hope this happens again, so I can take better notes. If this happens again, then you'll be too busy cooking Perkins into a stew to care about notes. How about you concentrate on how to keep them from starving us to death? Oh, that's simple. Either this culling will scare the others into moving on, or they'll do it themselves, once they've eaten all the food. Marvelous. Luckily for me, I still have my secret stash of frozen burritos. Did I say secret stash? I have no such thing, really. Yet another problem. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is the Bigfoots have moved on. I noticed lack of Bigfoots is just as obvious as their presence. So what's the bad news? They had to go somewhere, and right now they're ravaging neighboring frontier towns, including Sundale, a farming community. Oh man, the Bigfoots will be like locusts, only without wings, and bigger and hairier and smellier, and with hands instead of pincers. So really not much like locusts, other than the eating anyway. The point is, they're gonna need our help. These things eat more than Ramsey after a bad, I don't know what, I did not finish reading that. Oh, after a bad day, okay. Alright, so we go and we fight the Bigfoots again. Basically, the stun is a little bit annoying though. Stun on the turret. Multi-stun. But once those guys are in range, they will not be lasting. Yep. Wiping them out. They don't give much gold, but you know. They do give SP. Oh, look, there's silverwolves out on the world map too. There's so many encounters going on and spawning. I mean, maybe it's just the fact that I don't know. Some quests have a real abundance of battles, and some quests have a real abundance of make stuff at shops. And currently, it's mostly leaning to the battles. You know, if these Bigfoots are going to continue to be a problem, maybe we should find bigger and meaner critters who will be their predators. No, wait, we could breed some. We could start introducing them everywhere. Brilliant, Morgan. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that. Leave the science to me, please. You know, it would be nice if once, just once, you were happy when I took an interest. Floyd could... Ah, I did not read that. Okay. So we're getting from reports from Trotbeck. Silverwolves, rebels, or raiders? Bigfoot, sir. Really? It's just so silly. I mean, who's scared of a Bigfoot? Just open your arms wide to look big and they'll scurry off into the bushes. Usually chase them off by clapping real loud. Alright, so now we gotta wipe out even more Bigfoots. Because that is what we do. This is basically the Bigfoot killing episode. I feel like I've killed more Bigfoots in this than any other units. That almost killed that guy. Almost. Almost. Okay. A little bit of gold. And even more Bigfoots. Yeah. Not really sure what else to say, but gotta assume that, yeah. Didn't quite kill that guy. Yeah, I do not like the stun on the rock throw there. It's really kind of annoying. Then again, stun in general is just annoying. Stun is always, you know. I mean, one-turn stuns are not so bad. They're not really useful when using them either, but you know. Multi-turn stuns? Those things kind of suck to fight against. Okay, so what is past me up to here? Clearly finding... Oh, okay. Speaking of stuns, right? Past me out here doing this thing where he stuns a random Bigfoot with the Peacekeeper. Oh, maybe it's leveling up the Peacekeeper. Well, you've certainly cured the symptom. Now, aren't you the least bit concerned? What's causing this? The Pierce Matriarch is correct. It is unusual for the Bigfoots to continue their southern rampage this long. There is something wrong in their homelands. Taos, seriously, you need to stop sneaking up on people like that. How did you even know I was here? Your servant boy, Perkins, informed me. I enjoy startling the skinny beast. If Taos is right, the Bigfoots are more aggressive than ever. What's their natural habitat? Don't they just live in the sewers and eat people's garbage? Now Morgan, those are just myths. Bigfoots are actually clever, curious creatures. Sometimes they wander into our settlements, and they wind up hiding in a basement or drain pipe out of fear. I'll believe it when I see it. Bigfoots like simple shapes and puzzles. Okay. So we go to the Bigfoot lands. My goodness, the level of complexity is far beyond what I expected. Or, really? It's just a bunch of crappy little lean-tos. Morgan, they've built shelters. Look at the logs around the fire. They clearly have complex social... whatever the fuck he was saying. Well... and I think I see why. Spiderwasps. Well, of course Spiderwasps are the problem. When it comes to sandworms, raptors, Bigfoots, boars, and mammoths, gotta feel like Spiderwasps may or may not be the apex predator, considering, you know, they're I think, as Taos said, they're spider, wasp, bear, couple other creatures, but basically they're like a mix of a whole bunch of mega predator type things or whatever, but most prominently spiders and wasps, which, you know, wasps are really yeah. If you've ever seen a wasp or ever experienced wasp nest on your house, you know what I mean. I mean, I guess they're not, like, stat-wise as strong as the what's it called? As the sandworms. But these things still, I mean, these are just the workers after all. And the workers aren't meant in like an anthill, I think. The workers don't often do straight up combat, they leave that to the warriors. The workers just gather and collect food, as far as I'm aware. And build stuff too, probably. So I mean, if the workers are Okay, so what? Well, that wasn't so bad. Hopefully now the Bigfoots will come home and do whatever dumb stuff Bigfoots normally do. I sincerely doubt it. The Spiderwasp forces we just defeated were likely worker drones. They were just out collecting food. It seems their new queen is still hungry. Something is upsetting the natural order. Big bad bugs. So if those were just worker drones, and we kill all of them, first, it's unlikely that we could accomplish such a goal. Second, they appear to be an apex predator. Wiping them out would likely further upset the ecosystem and have massively... What do you recommend? Well, longer term, I'm going to need to do some research and see if I can figure out why their collection of nourishment is taking longer than normal. In the short term, I'd say we should focus on defeating the more aggressive warrior Spiderwasps that have advanced on our position. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, those guys. Yipes. Okay. And there's the warrior Spiderwasps or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so what am I looking at here? Well, I guess they don't stand much of a chance against the wimps if the attacks roll, but same time, I feel like in the game, like, what's it called? Lore? Lore, probably? Like lore and storyline or whatever it is. I feel like that the Spiderwasps are probably a bigger threat than the sandworms ever are, even though the sandworms can be like, you know, absolutely massive compared to the Spiderwasps. These are just like, you know, the basic Spiderwasps, the weakest versions. I don't know. I really don't know. Best part about the Spiderwasps is that they inhabit this Bigfoot land place, and they make a good SP farm. And realistically, that's all I should need to care about, right? Yeah, they got acid just like the sandworms. Not nearly as tanky as the... not nearly as tanky though as the big sandworms. Although, the sheer number of units probably makes up for that. You know what? Forget it. I'm going home. Morgan, we can't just ignore this problem. Something very bad is happening out here. I'm not ignoring it. I'm just admitting that they got too much on my plate between rebels, silverwolves, and civil unrest. I can't tackle this right now. Well, don't leave it on the back burner too long. This isn't getting fixed by itself. Has any problem ever been fixed by itself? Do fence us in. Floyd, I heard about the Bigfoots. It's just awful. Indeed it is, Zoe. We were on totally the wrong track all this time. If only we'd gotten funding to research their natural habitat sooner, we'd be years ahead in our... What the Floyd? I'm talking about how it turns out they're tool-using, problem-solving social animals. They're harmless, and we've been gunning them down. Ah, yes, there is that. What do you suggest? Well, why don't we try to keep them out? Build some fences or something. I'm willing to give it a shot. Alright, so now it's time to build some fences. Which may or may not result in some serious problems. I don't know. If I recall correctly, this mission does not end well for either side. Razor wire fence, okay. Fences are a little bit of an interesting decoration there. I think they're supposed to like connect to themselves. Sorry, Zoe, I'm afraid the fences were a little less than successful. It's not stopping them? Well, most of them are going around. Some of them are getting caught on the razor wire, mostly juveniles. So, yeah, basically, Basically, the Bigfoots are getting stuck on the fence and making a lot of noise. Or whatever. Okay, the fences were a bad idea. There was a lot of blood, and we all felt really bad. I don't know about this, Zoe. Floyd asked me to help, but I feel like, don't worry, Perkins. You leave the thinking and feeling to me. Just collect and carry the food. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Alright, so now we're gonna try feeding the Bigfoots, apparently. Which, there's no way that's gonna go wrong, right? No way. No possible way whatsoever. Except for the fact that here in the world of Battle Nations, we know that there is most definitely a way that could go wrong. But, I guess it'll be at Perkins' expense, so maybe maybe it's not so bad for Zoe and or Floyd because of that. Alright, so we got raiders out here to fight. Now this might be kind of a rough battle. I feel like the ally battles are either good when your ally units are good, or just doing the battle with half the available unit slots when your ally units are not that good. So yeah, this is one of two things. Either way, either very easy or extra hard because of number of unit slots that are taken up by the allies. I mean, sometimes the allies are useful, but I don't feel like the allies are that useful in this case. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if the allies end up being useful at all. I mean, they do take a couple hits, but... tanking is different than doing damage and actually killing stuff. I'm pretty sure that back when I was actually doing this, right, I was pretty glad that I had the wimps available to perform the killing, because the rest of the ally units were not really gonna be doing that. You know what I mean? Probably. Yeah, whatever. So with this, should be how many raider battles after this? Probably a few. Yeah. Well, zombies all over the place. Silverwolves all over the place. All sorts of stuff all over the place. Oh, there's the raiders. All the way up there in the northern area of the northern frontier. Now, sadly, this is an allied chucker, so it's basically completely useless compared to the ranked and actually trained chuckers. I mean, maybe not completely useless, but you know, pretty close. Considering it's, you know, 5 ranks lower. Or 4 ranks lower, I don't know. Are these chuckers in this video rank 4 or rank 5? I'm not quite sure on that. Probably see in just a second. But well, there goes the ally chucker, of course. Okay, yeah. My chuckers in the video are rank 5. Phew, that was tiring. I suppose I was lucky y'all showed up. No suppose about it. Any idea where these jokers are heading next, Taos? It is uncertain. We will have to watch and wait. I'm a doer, not a watcher. Or a waiter. So I guess I'll be doing 2 things I hate. Yeah. Doing 2 things he hates, huh? The last scouts are reported in from the various frontier towns, sir. No sign of raiders anywhere. But in the background there, I can see that it is, this is unexpected. These warriors will hunger for combat. Like I said. Alright, here we go. Elder Taos! Elder Taos! You have to come quick. What? They attack their own people? We must return at once. Heroes always pay their debts. Usually. Occasionally. Oh, look at that. There's some sandworms left over here. I've probably mentioned those exact sandworms like 5 times every time I come here. Because, you know, those are from, like, you know, the very first sandworm quest back at level 20. And I always forget they exist until I actually show up here. And then once I'm actually here, I've got other stuff to do. And so I don't think I ever actually do the sandworms. It's kind of like the, there was this other time where I spotted like a level 5 encounter over in like Marin or something that I just never seen before. And it was like rebels. It was like a bunch of troopers and stuff, and I was there, you know, level 40 or something, maybe like level 35. But you know, like having progressed through like 25 to 30 levels of the game, and it was basically just, you know, going back to a side quest after completing the main quest or something like that. At least that's what someone said about it when I put a picture in Discord. Yeah. So there is something a little bit, what's it called? Interesting, right? Basically, I think, I'm actually getting within 2 weeks, well, maybe it's still like a month behind, but I think I've only got 2 weeks of videos between this current one that I'm voicing over and the most recent one, which I would have recorded the other day before uploading the 4-minute garbage video or whatever. Well, I don't know if it was really a garbage video or not, but there's this thing where people always say, well, if you're gonna do YouTube, you gotta do consistency, consistency, consistency. Well, like if you stop uploading for even one day, then your channel's gonna die. You're gonna have to start all over again from the very beginning. And I don't know if that's actually true or not. So I figure it's better to upload a short video that basically does nothing. Even if, actually I don't know. A short video that basically does nothing is probably actually bad. Instead of just like waiting and uploading a full video like this one will be. And I know the other day I talked about how this one was going to be cut into 2 parts. And gonna be honest here, I'm not cutting it into 2 parts. I'm just doing this hour 20 minutes of voicing over while talking and watching back the footage. Because that's the thing, you know. Watch back the footage while voicing it over in order to know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's kind of an interesting thing, you know. I don't know. May they spend their afterlives neck deep in mammoth dung as vultures pluck out their hair strand by strand. Gruesome. Whoa there, Taos. They're dead. I think that's punishment enough, don't you? Death was too easy for them. Had they lived, I would put them through the legendary eyes with 1,000 splinters in it. You take 1,000 wooden splinters and jab them one by one into the eye. If, yeah. I think I get the picture. Thanks. Just the name gave me the willies. Now looks like past me looked at the sandworms. Did not do anything to them, of course. Those sandworms may be the longest living sandworms to ever exist. Because, you know, they're from the first sandworm quests or whatever. And there they were, getting to live another day or whatever. See, sandworm salami. Definitely use those other sandworms to make sandworm salami, but whatever. Got, looks like past me is setting up the jobs, which have been left running for an hour now. And now it's ironclad time, apparently. Wow. Okay. What was that? What did I just watch? What did past me just do, bro? Like, that was one of the worst opening attacks I've ever seen. I mean, it was probably a mistake, but still. That was just not a good play. Like, it did. I mean, it was probably a miss, but still. Or a misclick, but. You know, sometimes you have to wonder. Sometimes I wonder when I'm watching back my own footage. What the heck was I doing? Because, sometimes I really don't know. And, yeah. Especially if it's footage that I didn't voice over at the time of actually recording it, so I don't actually know if that was intentional or a mistake. So, yeah. That's, okay, so it's, silverwolf time again. Everyone likes the silverwolves, right? I know I do. Because, their best trait is that they, do lots of damage and kill stuff. Especially stuff that I don't want killed. That might be the attack that the wolf artillery has on the like I know I was talking about the wolf artillery earlier in the video, right? So that like area attack that did a little bit of damage. I mean, it did about half the field agent's health, but that attack may or may not be one of the attacks that you can expect the actual wolf artillery that was trainable to have. Although I'm gonna guess that it probably is not gonna be, I don't know. If I knew, then I would know. I don't actually know if the quest silverwolf encounters give the same chance of bars and gears as the naturally spawning ones. But they don't, I don't think they actually do. Yeah, Wimp's out here carrying the game. Or carrying the battle. 375, not bad. Pretty good, I should say. 24 though, that's the effect of armor on a piercing weapon. I don't know if it was piercing or just I think piercing is the normal gun damage type, right? Oh, yeah, there we go. I've been proven wrong. The quest silverwolves do drop gears and bars. So they are exactly as good to fight as the non-quest ones, since you can get the gears and bars from them. And everyone likes gears and bars. Gears and bars are amazing resources to have. Oh wow. Took out the whole row there. Does the stun make the wimp ignore the armor? I don't think it does. I feel like if stun made armor be ignored on vehicles, I would know. Right? Maybe? EMP does not ignore armor there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's one way or the other. But I think the bug where stun made stuff ignore armor is actually fixed. Although I can't be sure on that. Or it was fixed. I don't know. Field agents. Pretty nice to have. Okay, there's a stun. The best thing about the wimp attack right there is that it can just go straight through the front row and the middle row and hit the back row if you need it to. And because it does a huge amount of damage, it's pretty good at taking out a back row target, even if it can't expressly target the back row. Yeah. I mean, I would say farming the wimps was a great investment of my time and effort. Even if only for the fact that they make this point in the game easy. Like, almost laughably so. Of course, you know, with that Stevenson isn't gonna be too pleased with us. He can't afford a full-out conflict any more than we can. Well, unless you want to let them plunder wherever they please, it was going to come to that anyway. His buddy Bronson doesn't strike me as the patient type. All I'm saying is that we should be prepared. Things are going to get a lot hairier from here on in. Things are already so hairy. It's practically a mammoth. Sarcasm is fun. Oh, okay. Don't look now, Morgan, but we have visitors. Well, time to face the music. I'm gonna go see them. You go do what you need to do. I am disappointed. I thought you Imperials were more practical than this. Do you not already have your hands full with the rebels and raiders? Why, blah 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 blah. Do you realize how hard you're trying our patience? Hey, we don't like this any more than you do, but we don't like the whole exploiting and looting the weak and helpless thing either. You're the ones who aren't leaving us with a choice. You aren't getting our point. Your forces are making us very uncomfortable out there. If you continue, we can make your lives very uncomfortable. See, that's a threat, right? Yeah, that's a threat right there. Oh, uncomfortable. Why didn't you say so? I've got just the solution. Alright. And Morgan's gonna make a velvet robe and fuzzy slippers to not be uncomfortable. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the type of thing Morgan would do, you know? That is exactly the type of thing Morgan would do. Because he's doing it, obviously. So, with this, looks like past me is gonna set up some little bit of extra stuff here as this video draws to a close. Oh, upgrading the barracks too, apparently. So that's why the barracks was leveled up later on. And with a final look at the quests here, I believe that will actually finish this off. Goodbye.